Okay, here's the thing. It's not going to be easy to sum up a nearly 2-year-long feud between Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland into a 2-minute intro, but I'm sure as hell going to try. In September of 2023, AEW was living in the shadow of Brawlin. But while everyone was obsessively refreshing Twitter, looking for more backstage drama, Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page quietly started telling one of the greatest stories in pro wrestling in a very, very long time. It starts simple. Swerve comes out, calls out Hangman Adam Page. He tells him, "You've gotten comfortable. You've been handed opportunity after opportunity, and you take it for granted." And Swerve was here to take his spot. Swerve was hungry, he wanted to prove he belonged at the top, and more importantly, he wanted to be the first black AEW World Champion. At Wrestle Dream, Swerve beat Hangman Adam Page. On the next Dynamite, Hangman called it a fluke, and then cost Swerve a shot at the AEW World Championship. Swerve then responded, in the most rational way possible, by breaking into Hangman's home, talking shit over his son's crib, and leaving his shirt behind for him as a blanket. At Full Gear 2023, Swerve and Hangman faced off in a Texas death match. Swerve wins by hanging the Hangman, alliteration and such. But in kayfabe, this is the exact moment that Hangman Adam Page fully begins to embrace the Hangman. Hangman and Swerve then face on a one-on-one match on Dynamite for a chance to face Samoa Joe at Revolution. Swerve is beginning to be cheered by the fans, while Hangman is receiving mixed reactions as he becomes darker and more conflicted. Swerve's motivations are the same as ever, to become the AEW World Champion. Hangman simply wants to ensure that never happens. The match goes to a 30-minute time limit draw. So at Revolution, Hangman versus Swerve versus Joe for the AEW World Championship. Hangman is barely even trying to win at this point, which in kayfabe usually isn't ideal. But his goal at this point is to make sure Swerve loses, by any means necessary, even if it means tapping out early just to rob him of his moment. By April of 2024, with the crowd fully behind him, Swerve defeats Samoa Joe and finally becomes the first black AEW World Champion, fulfilling the promise he made at the very beginning. Hangman, though, has not moved on. He's only gotten more obsessed. He arguably cost Swerve the title against Bryan Danielson at All In, and then Hangman burns down Swerve's childhood home that Swerve had just bought.
Hangman Adam Page can no longer believe that he walks the righteous path.
I'm John the Younger, that's John the Elder, and that's gotta be Kane. And we're watching Hangman Adam Page versus Swerve Strickland in a lights-out steel cage match.
That was scary, the cage.
He's a cowboy. On a steel horse he rides. He's wanted. You guys are supposed to come in there. It's fine. Dead or alive. You guys think I sound so much like Bon Jovi that that's going to get copyright strike?
Yeah.
Well, you changed the perspective from first to third person.
And
so
you can do cover music on YouTube.
it might not flag it. Who knows?
All right. Hi, everyone.
Let's jump into the Wrestling Observer.
Yeah, I actually didn't take very many notes here because a lot of the stuff involving it's very recent. Just so everyone knows, this match happened about 2 years ago. And honestly, it's probably more like 1.5, if that. So, in a lot of the news was involving Brawl In. And we all know everything about that. Like, if you're a wrestling fan and you're tapped in, everyone knows everything.
But also, everyone has opinions on it.
Sure, yeah. I
so
mean,
we could do Brawl In? Well, it probably feels like that Brawl In would have to be like a whole episode of itself. But just for fun, let's read some of the stuff that the Wrestling Observer has about whatever you have for it.
Okay. I have a little bit written here. It was a small snippet from not the Brian and Vinny show, the one with Meltzer and Brian Alvarez. I don't know what they call that. Sorry.
I don't either.
He talks about a lot of the stuff surrounding CM Punk and Jack Perry, and I think this is the first issue where they talk about the real fucking Glass stuff, where like Jack Perry looks into the camera and says real fucking Glass on the pre-show of All In, I think. Was it on the pre-show?
Yeah, I believe it was the pre-show. If it wasn't, it was the first match.
Who was he facing?
No, it was the pre-show because Joe and Punk opened that show.
Yes, you're right. Mm-hmm. For the real AEW World title, right?
Yeah, the one that's Punk had spray painted an X.
The real World Championship.
Yeah. And the reason I found that so interesting is because it's the first time we really knew that was, I guess, directed at CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
I also have another report here from Fightful that CM Punk has the wrestling bug. That is really all he says about it, but
given the context we have now, I guess it was probably true.
Considering you didn't leave it all behind again.
Yeah.
And was in...
Yeah,
which was a real possibility at the time.
I think a lot of it too was he had the collecting a big paycheck bug as well, which seems like it's more his motivation these days than the actual wrestling.
But granted, AEW sold this place out. I mean, they didn't sell it out. I think they were like 1,000 tickets away, but they were very close to selling out this arena in Chicago.
All right, let's talk Swerve and Hangman.
Yes, the entrances start. And immediately, I don't know if y'all felt this, but the vibe of this match is disgusting.
It starts with, Hangman coming out and he has the barbed wire wrapped around his arm. And he just looks like a badass. He looks like pure evil. And you just there's a guttural feeling in the pit of your stomach where you're like, this is going to be violent as hell. Mm-hmm. And then Swerve comes out, and man, Swerve is so cool.
I miss this presentation so much. Why are we all okay with Swerve's new theme song? Because this theme is so much better.
I mean, he just has like Scott Hall aura, though. Like, you know what I mean? I've said this before.
Yeah.
Like how Scott Hall just like oozes coolness. Swerve has that.
He was so hungry at this point, too. You could tell he had something to prove.
This was when he had the chip on his shoulders.
Yeah, very much so.
But I'll say this now because this runs throughout the entire match. The commentary job on this, one of the things they do, even though Hangman is technically the face, they emphasize throughout this entire match that neither one of these men are the good guy.
I think by this point, Swerve was the face.
No, Swerve is...
I think Hangman had turned heel by this point.
Well, Hangman left, and Swerve had turned face, and he'd come back with the gimmick that he was annoyed that the crowd was cheering Swerve, but half the crowd is still very much clearly behind Hangman in this match.
But I'm pretty sure this is already past the point of that one promo where he talks about how the crowd chose Swerve over him.
Yes.
Well, he does that during this match, but... whichever one is which, the commentary sells throughout the entire thing. One, how deranged this match is, and two, that both these men are just crazy, insane. Like, they've both done horrible things. Yes. They never let either one off for what they've done just because one of them's a heel and one of them's a face.
I since we're on the topic of commentary, JR, oh my God. I don't know how I forgot this. This is a legendary performance from him.
Yeah, he does a great job.
An amazing job.
I praise as we go through the match. I have praise notes.
Modern JR is hit or miss. Yeah. This was a night where he was on.
This was a legendary performance that I don't know if we'll ever get from the man again.
A lot of what sold this match was his disgust. Like a seasoned announcer like JR who's seen everything being disgusted and be like, why are these two men doing this to each other? This is senseless. Sold it.
He emphasizes like we've gone too far here. He even mentions at one point, he's like, Tony will never book a match like this again, or at least not in the near future after what we've witnessed here. Yeah. And that's such a chill. Like, it gives me chills right now talking about it. It's such a great line from the match.
Shortening.
No, can you imagine Tony Khan thinking, I like this match, I want to do another one? No, you're not going to volunteer to get this match. No.
Well, they are both in the ring, and they immediately try to kill each other.
It's the decapitation spot.
Yes, they both are trying to hold each other's head. How do I structure this so I can get a visual?
We'll have a visual, but
yeah, sure. They're both holding each other under the bottom rope as the cage is lowering, trying to decapitate each other.
It's actually Prince Nana who comes in and pushes them both out of the way because he's like, guys, even Nana's like, what the fuck,
Yeah, they're holding each other's head over the edge of the ring apron, where the cage would come down right on their necks, and they do it for an uncomfortable amount of time.
So the match immediately gets fucking bonkers.
Swerve immediately does a house call. 5-10 seconds into the match, an immediate house call, and Nana is yelling, kill him on the outside.
There's a really sad JR call, and I don't know if you guys picked up on it, and it made me really sad. He does the I don't know if your elderly grandparents ever did this, but he does the thing where he brings up randomly friends that he had that are dead. he goes,
I thank the late, great Terry Funk on this night because he would have loved this atmosphere.
Oh, yeah. Funker for sure. He would have.
Yeah, that made me happy, though. Because this match is a love letter to, the
that style of wrestling.
Yeah, the deathmatch Japan style of wrestling.
Yeah, I found that a nice little exchange between him and Taz, just talking about like this. It obviously is in the vein of Terry Funk.
Taz has a lot of funny commentary.
Taz is a dude. The
He's a
commentary
menace.
on this, everything lines up in this match. Like for what is considered a bad time in AEW, this match, like everything worked to perfection. The crowd, the commentary, the vibe, the aura, the wrestlers, just everything fit into place perfectly.
Do you want to talk about the first thing that Hangman pulls out of the box?
Yes,
The staple
pulls out a
gun.
staple gun, which is a callback to their original Texas Death Match, right?
And this time, though, Swerve doesn't respond to getting stapled. He must have went through some sort of staple training,
He no sells it.
like in theory training. Nana's just like staple gun.
Commentary says it though. I believe like it's JR that says he's so angry, he's so enraged that he doesn't even feel the staples.
Swerve eventually wrestles the staple gun from Hangman. He gets out a picture of his family, I believe. Am I wrong about that?
He
It's
puts
Swerve's
a
family.
couple staples in his back first.
Yes.
A few staples in his back first, and then gets the pictures up, which I believe had come up before already in the feud because they were
Yes.
crinkled up pictures.
Hangman stapled Swerve with his kids' drawings.
Yes.
In the Texas Death
And
Match.
it's a callback from where he burned down Swerve's house. He's doing it of his family that grew up in that house. Shivani, though, has the worst call of the match right here. As Swerve staples it, so the commentary is talking about it, and someone's like, well, and JR, I think, says, well, he burned down his house. And Shivani just goes, it was a nice house.
Yeah, he does. I didn't write that down, but I
And
remember
JR saves the fucking call. JR saves it by going, it's not just a house, it's a memory.
Yeah,
They're like,
yeah.
thank you, JR, for bailing Shivani out of that one. It was a nice house, he says. Well, Swerve controls the match for about 15 minutes. Like most of the 15 minutes, Swerve is in control. But then eventually Hangman gets back control, right? And he wraps the barbed wire in the cage. And he launches Swerve face first into it. And when Swerve hits the ground, I don't know when he blades, but when he gets back up, it's like a puddle of blood.
Yeah.
And the crowd audibly all at the same time.
Your family has been jeopardized when your childhood memories have been taken from you.
I think a lot of the fans here just
It's crazy.
There is a key point you're missing a little bit earlier on that I feel like is kind of the story of the match. Hangman goes for the buckshot on the cage, and he can't because the cage is too close to his back.
Yeah.
So he goes the whole match without using the buckshot.
Yeah, and then there's a fun spot later where the ref's trying to be like, guys, have some humanity and stop them from using the chair. And it's down trying to pick up the chair and get it out of the match. And Swerve buckshots over the ref and buckshots Hangman.
He punks it a little bit, but yeah.
He
gets it.
He didn't get the full rotation.
No one can do it, bro. It's a rule. No one can do the buckshot by Hangman.
There's a long stretch where they go back and forth, and there's just crazy spot after crazy spot after crazy spot.
If you haven't seen this match, it is free on YouTube. It takes like 30, 40 minutes. It is brilliant. Please go out of your way to see it because this match is so brutal. We're skipping over like staple spots. I have written here a lawn dart into a chair.
Yeah. Oh, I have that, yeah. But go ahead, Kane, sorry.
It's just the classic tuck the chair between the turnbuckles. It's fit between the turnbuckles, and Swerve just lawn darts Hangman into that chair.
But there is a thing in this match that we will get to that I can't even begin to comprehend how they did it.
Oh, I think that's what they pull out of the box next, right?
Yes, the cinder block. The fucking cinder block.
So after watching this again, I was sure the first time, but after watching it now, I was 90, now I'm 99% certain that it's not a real cinder block. It just doesn't move the way a real cinder block would in the ring.
I would agree with you, but very early on after they get it, Swerve does a vertebreaker onto it. And there are visible bruises and well marks
Scratches.
on his
Yeah.
back.
Well, yeah,
He hits it weird, too. He hits it at an angle. It looks like someone, like we would think it would look if someone fell into a cinder block like that.
Yeah. Which is why even if it's not a real cinder block, right? But if it can leave that kind of damage for a spot later, how do you do that?
Whenever Swerve first pulls out the cinder block, JR has an anecdote about down on the farm how he accidentally got hit in the face with the cinder block once and it wasn't pleasant. Then Taz has the call where he goes, I gotta hit the nuts with the center block. Well, it's true story.
And JR bobs for it.
But yeah, looking at it, like, the way they carry it, it doesn't look like it has the heft of a cinder block.
Yes.
And there's one point after, that we'll probably get to just here in a second, where they do something and it bounces on the ring.
Yes, I saw that as well.
Even as bouncy as wrestling ring is, a real cinder block would not bounce like that.
You think they're mimicking the weight of it when they pick it up and stuff?
Yeah, I think
it does stay kind of
it.
in place though when they land on it. Is what I found interesting.
It bounces around.
Roll, but I would think if it was lighter, it would roll. So I mean, the landing looked like I said, the cinder block vertebraker. It looks safe. Like they had kind of like shot it well, where he's not just like his neck's not just like
he's landing on it on like the back of his shoulder.
Yeah, so it hits his back. The back's cut open now. The table comes into play that Nana threw in there earlier. And there's a hell of a fucking swerve stomp through the table.
And I have written here the please don't die chants before they do that spot. Like immediately as soon as the spot happens, start to like loud gasp in horror.
Yeah. But it goes back to the sound. The sound of that table breaking was also insane.
Loud. They had to have mics. Maybe that's what they were doing with the cage before they finished lowering it, was putting mics in the corner to pick that stuff up. I don't know. But man, it's just audible. It just echoes through everything.
Whenever the sound does just make a huge impact in this match.
That's not like the production on this match is unbelievable. It is a masterclass.
Well, there's literally a section after the table spot. Crowd split. Some are saying, "Let's go Hangman, let's go Swerve," and then it becomes a literal horror movie when Hangman has a piece of wood of the burned down house like carved into a knife, where they again proceed to try to stab each other with it.
They try to kill each other with it.
It's literally a horror movie thing. It's a horror movie spot. Like they're trying to drive it down into each other's heads and they're grabbing each other's arms. It's
anyone
insane.
Remember the JR call here? Because I have JR is legitimately legendary in this match, but I didn't write down what he said.
See, I was thinking the same thing, but I was the exact same thought. Like, I remember at the time thinking this was a great call by JR, but I don't remember what it was. But he's like, it was something along like, it's not just a weapon, it's memories.
Yeah, it's part of Swerve's house. Yeah, they really go back to
it's his child. He says stuff like
there's
that.
a moment where Swerve wrestles it away from Hangman finally. He looks at it and he cries.
Yes.
He cries. Like he gets serious, looks at it sad, and then proceeds to stab Hangman with it over and over again in the head.
Yeah.
The armbar after Hangman tries to stab him is the epitome of why I love this match. It is gritty, it's gross, it feels like a fight to the death.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I loved this match so much.
Well, the great thing about this entire feud is it genuinely felt like these two men hated each other just with every fiber of their beings.
Mm.
And you can see it in this match.
Yeah. 30 minutes into the match is when we have that crazy ass top rope awesome bomb.
Yes, the
which
awesome
is
bomb.
awesome, which is a cool spot. But after everything we've seen, it's kind of like
It's a transition move.
Yeah. So Hangman awesome bombs Swerve off the top rope.
Yeah, that's the point where the audience is like recuperating.
Yeah. It might as well be a rest hold in this match.
Hangman then low blows Swerve as he tries to stab him in the head.
Mm-hmm.
And here we go. He picks him up in the powerbomb position. The crowd is sitting, by the way, for this. Because, like, he lifts him up over the brick. The crowd still isn't reacting. Because I think in their minds, it's like, they're not going to fucking do this spot. Are you kidding me? And he just throws him and he lands on the fucking brick. Like, spine first, his spine bends, you see it. And he bounces off him.
JR has a call in this match where he says, there's some guy at home right now saying they learned this in wrestling school. And I ain't ever been to no damn wrestling school that teaches you how to do that. And I'm just like... Yeah, I have no idea. We're sitting here like we're fucking like we're trying to unmask the magician and figure out how they do it, how they did it. But I mean, we don't really know.
No, but this is the spot where like it doesn't look like a real cinder block to me because the way Swerve hits it, it shouldn't move.
I agree.
But it does.
I agree 100%. But earlier on in the vertebraker spot, it leaves visible marks on Hangman.
Well, it scraped his back. There's no disputing that thing had edges on it. But even if it was made like out of a very tough rubber, it would still scrape his back if he caught the edges of it the right way. And Swerve did that. I tend to watch these because this is to me where like I'm not one of those people like knowing how it's made makes me lose interest in it. Like, people say, once you know how Magic's done it, you lose interest in it. Like, no, that's what's fun about it, is figuring out how they trick you with this stuff. And it's the same with wrestling for me. I like watching it and like trying to figure out how they did this. And one thing I noticed is that it might be, I don't know if it's Swerve or Hangman, but they drop it, he hits with his upper back first, and then his lower back onto the block, so his lower back doesn't take as much of
and
the
I'll also
force
say this:
as it looks
he
like.
picks him up in the powerbomb position. You can almost tell like they have a moment where Swerve falls back down and like they're resetting.
Yeah,
like you could tell that. I mean, I have to have you in a certain position to make sure you land right on this. They do the same thing with the vertebraker spot. They're very careful about what positioning they're in. Swerve tries to do it twice and then stops and repositions himself and sets it up again. They're being very safe with each other in a match that is incredibly brutal.
Which I think, well, to be honest, a lot of these deathmatch styles, especially the ones from Japan, are a lot of smoke and mirrors. And I think a lot of the fun of those matches are trying to pick apart and find out how this works.
Yeah, that's fun to me.
Because I thought for a long time, like before I rewatched this match for the show, I was convinced that the real brick was used on a vertebraker. The vertebraker was a real brick. And they switched out the brick somehow in between spots. Like someone switched out the brick. I
don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
They're locked in a cage. That brick, if it's gimmicked, it's the same one.
It don't look real to me.
If it's a prop, it looks great.
The crowd explodes, by the way, after the fucking power bomb on the center. But like, it's audible gasp into stunned silence as everyone is standing up now.
Even as I was watching it, I was like, no, they're not gonna actually do this. Something's gonna.
He's gonna
they did
reverse it. No, but he just fucking slams him on it.
It's insane. It's an insane spot.
Hangman, he dead eyes him into a near fall.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think something at this point snaps within the Hangman character. He stands up and starts yelling at Swerve at the top of his lungs, beg for mercy.
He also starts yelling at the crowd like, you cheer him. This is the man you cheer.
This is your boy, I think is what he keeps saying.
But that's also that dead eye, just going back to what you said earlier about the awesome bomb, like that was the move, like that dead eye, there was nothing to it, there was no gimmick to it. It's like, okay, that's it was pretty bland.
Again, by comparison, it would pop me every single match, but after everything they had done before, I'm just like, and there's also a part of me that's like, end the match, make that be over. Like, you guys have done enough here. But they're not done yet.
Okay, yep. And then after that, Swerve starts laughing. He stands up and is holding up two fingers, which I assume he's mocking him and saying that it was a 2 count and you can't beat me. And I think at this point, Hangman realizes what he has to do to win is kill all the humanity left inside of Hangman Adam Page. He can no longer be Adam Page. He has to be the Hangman to win this match. And that's whenever Hangman pulls out a hypodermic needle from the padding. Oh my god.
Sticks it through his cheek. It's just hanging there.
He sticks it through his fucking cheek and it's visible on the other side.
See, the thing about that spot is it looks awful, but getting a piercing is probably worse.
Yeah, probably.
It's about the same, I would say,
Yeah.
But man, that needle spot.
I can't. I didn't.
But not only do
they
do the needle spot, he has to finish it up with something.
Yes.
That's not enough.
Yes.
The needle's stuck in his mouth. And this just shows how effective headshots could be when you're not just constantly spamming them like they were in the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
The most vicious sounding chair shot.
The sound. Oh my god.
You missed something. Swerve begs for mercy.
Oh, he does.
Yes. Does he?
I didn't see that.
Yes. His hands are like this as the needle's through his cheek and Hangman's looking down.
Finally.
At him. Yep. And Hangman shows no remorse. He shows no remorse. He pulls up the chair and hits him. It's the loudest sound. It is so loud. The crowd yells in horror.
The great thing about it too is it wasn't like an old school chair shot where he like bounces it off of him. He didn't hit him with the top of it. He hit him with the seat part.
Yes.
In a way that like it folds out. So he put
the seat. Yep.
The seat unfolds and he goes straight onto to Swerve's head, and the chair just stays around Swerve's neck.
Yes,
after he's done, and then the referee just immediately like, "No, this is over."
Yeah, it's over. It's done, and the crowd like finally breathes.
Yeah, it's like, and the thing is, man, the referee calling an end to this match like that could have been booed out of the building. See your Seth Rollins and the Fiend match at Hell in a Cell. But because of after everything they've been through, it's almost like the crowd's like,
Thank
you.
God.
Yeah, thank you.
In the words of JR here, thank God it's over and may it never happen again. That's how you fucking build it. The JR is on one. This is a legendary performance. And I mean this wholeheartedly. It's up there with Mankind Hell in a Cell.
And then as the cage is rising, Hangman starts to exit the ring, and the look of realization on his face at what he has just done, it's almost like the demon has left him. And he's like, oh my God, what? Like the look on his face is just, oh my God, what the fuck did I just do? Best actor all in wrestling. Yeah, best actor.
And I think we never really get the follow up to this because it ends up becoming Hangman's the main character and he has the redemption arc. But I think where this character was going to be, which you see later whenever he retires Christopher Daniels and becomes like a mega asshole. Adam Page is no longer the character. He is Hangman.
He has to find himself again after this.
He is Hangman.
And the thing it's awesome that AEW has this up for free on their YouTube channel, but they cut off the best part.
They do.
Which is where Hangman's walking backwards up the ramp, and the crowd is all just like he's looking at the crowd, seeing their reaction to him, and something, whether it's like for a second he thinks he needs to go help, or he just can't quite get enough, like he needs to do something else. But he's walking back to the crowd, and he starts to turn to walk toward the ramp. But then he turns back around and starts to walk toward the ring again. And 10,000, how many people? Like 70,000 people just audibly gasp.
Part of it. No, wait, Hangman, he's coming. He's not coming back. No. It looked like he was.
Dear God,
No. You are underselling this. There is a single lady in this crowd who made this moment.
Oh yeah, you could hear her.
Yeah, he turns back to go. I looked this up to rewatch this because it's such a big moment. But like he turns to go back, and I love that interpretation by UK. And it could be he wants to go help, and there's still some part of Adam Page left in him after this, or he really is fully the Hangman and he wanted to go finish the job. But it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The crowd, this one lady in the crowd screams at the top of her lungs in horror as he tries to go back. And Hangman looks at his hands after this, looks to the crowd, and starts fucking screaming.
It's so good, man. And this is a match where it's like, if you like wrestling, I know the style of wrestling is not for everybody, but even if you just hear the run up to it and then just watch the part where Hangman leaves, my God, it is just chills. It's the best acting, like I said, in wrestling ever. And the story's really not done yet. I have a feeling that with this current direction that Hangman's going with, I can't challenge for the title anymore. Maybe Swerve that he runs into down the road that this storyline weaves itself back into somehow.
It's perfect though, because Swerve will be the guy to be like, I'm going to make you break your word.
Yeah.
He's his Joker.
Yeah.
And I would like to see this version of Hangman back. I don't like seeing babyface Hangman back was cool, but goddamn, this Hangman's fucking awesome. Like this music, this presentation.
This is kind of an issue with all baby faces, but like broken down, seeking redemption Hangman was better than victorious champion Hangman.
Yes.
Like his promo with Ospreay before the Owen Hart Cup Finals is fucking amazing.
That's the match, guys.
Yeah.
We do star ratings?
Guys, it really sucks that AEW doesn't tell stories.
Yeah. One of the greatest storytelling matches of a character I have ever, because this is a character breakdown of Hangman Adam Page.
Yeah.
That's what this match is. It's trying to strip all of the goodness from Hangman and turn him into a monster.
And then he has to come back from that. And that's a great story all in of itself. 5 stars.
5 fucking stars.
Easy.
Maybe
5 stars.
in my top 5 matches of all time.
Yeah.
This was the best feud of the year in pro wrestling.
And I remember people, whenever it was happening, people were trying to argue that CM Punk and Drew McIntyre feuding over a bracelet was better than this. You're fucking smoking dick.
That stays in.
This was a great feud, a great story, a great blow off. Again, there was no dispute. We're all giving this 5 stars. We all love this match. We've talked about this many times since then, how great this match was. Yeah, fantastic match. I highly recommend you watch this entire feud if you can. But watch the Texas Death and this.
Yes,
If you could stomach it.
yes, if you can stomach it.
Because the Texas Death had the blood drinking spot.
I think this match is grosser, though.
I think it is too.
I think this match has. I don't. It's something about the aura.
It's the ambiance of violence that they create before they even get to the ring. They're just so good.
The commentary is dreading this match happening before it even starts.
Man,
it's just WWE. Fuck.
God, I love WWE.
I'm cutting that.
He said it already.
I'm the editor. I can cut it. But AEW just like they sold this perfectly.
Yes, they did.
And just this is they obviously like everyone have their low points, but when they do something like right, they really do it right.
It's over. Thank God it's over. Thank God the bell rung.
Nobody Kicks Out is a Channel 13 network production. We are a collection of independent content creators, which means we rely on your support. Please like, share, and subscribe because we can't do any of this without you.
What the hell's wrong with him?